Microsoft Copilot Studio Deep Dive: How AI Agents Are Transforming Enterprise Automation, Productivity, and Business Operations. Hello, everyone, and welcome. In this deep dive, we are going to explore Microsoft Copilot Studio in detail and understand why it is becoming one of the most important platforms in the enterprise AI landscape. Over the last few years, businesses have moved from simple automation toward intelligent AI-driven systems that can understand language, access business knowledge, automate workflows, and assist employees and customers in real time. Microsoft Copilot Studio sits directly in the center of this transformation. It allows organizations to create AI-powered agents that are capable of conversations, actions, reasoning, workflow execution, and integration with enterprise systems without requiring large software engineering teams. This shift is changing how organizations think about support, operations, productivity, and digital transformation. To understand the importance of Copilot Studio, we first need to understand the evolution of enterprise chatbots. Traditional chatbots were usually rule-based systems with predefined decision trees. They worked well for limited and repetitive scenarios, but they struggled whenever users asked unexpected questions or changed the conversation flow. Organizations had to manually build every pod, every response, and every branch. Maintaining those systems became difficult and expensive over time. Microsoft Copilot Studio represents a major leap forward because it combines low-code development, generative AI, large language models, enterprise knowledge grounding, workflow orchestration, and business integrations into one platform. Instead of simply following scripts, AI agents can now understand intent, retrieve information, reason through requests, and dynamically determine the best response. Microsoft positions Copilot Studio as a low-code platform for building intelligent AI agents for business use cases. According to Microsoft documentation, Copilot Studio provides a graphical environment where organizations can create copilots, configure knowledge sources, design conversational experiences, connect workflows, and publish agents across multiple channels. One of the biggest advantages is accessibility. Business analysts, process owners, operations teams, and non-developers can participate in creating enterprise AI solutions instead of relying entirely on specialized software developers. This democratization of AI development is one of the biggest reasons why platforms like Copilot Studio are gaining rapid adoption across industries. At the center of Copilot Studio is the concept of an AI agent. An AI agent is more than a chatbot. It acts like an intelligent assistant capable of interacting with users, understanding requests, retrieving knowledge, triggering actions, and coordinating systems. These agents can answer questions, execute workflows, gather information, escalate conversations, and integrate with enterprise applications. The important difference is that modern AI agents can adapt dynamically to the context of a conversation. Instead of forcing users into rigid menus and button selections, the system allows users to communicate naturally using everyday language. This creates a significantly more human and productive experience. One of the most powerful features in Copilot Studio is enterprise knowledge grounding. Large language models are powerful, but enterprise AI requires accurate and trusted information. Organizations cannot rely entirely on general internet trained knowledge when dealing with internal policies, procedures, contracts, compliance rules, or operational documentation. Copilot Studio allows organizations to connect trusted data sources such as SharePoint, websites, uploaded documents, Microsoft 365 data, Dataverse, and other enterprise systems. This grounding process helps ensure responses are based on approved organizational knowledge instead of generic model assumptions. It also improves trust, accuracy, and governance. Topics are another foundational concept inside Copilot Studio. Topics represent structured conversation paths that help guide users through specific workflows or business processes. A topic can contain triggers, conditions, questions, responses, actions, and branching logic. For example, an HR onboarding topic might collect employee details, explain benefits, trigger account provisioning workflows, and send notifications to managers. Topics are especially valuable when organizations need predictable outcomes, compliance requirements, or process consistency. Even though generative AI is powerful, structured topics remain essential for enterprise reliability and operational control. Microsoft has also introduced generative answers to reduce the complexity of maintaining large numbers of manually created topics. In older chatbot systems, organizations often had to create thousands of question and answer pairs to handle user interactions. This approach was difficult to scale. With generative answers, Copilot Studio can retrieve information from connected knowledge sources and generate natural language responses dynamically. This dramatically improves scalability because organizations no longer need to anticipate every possible user question. Instead, the AI can synthesize answers from relevant business content in real time while still remaining grounded in trusted enterprise information. One of the most advanced capabilities inside Copilot Studio is generative orchestration. This feature allows the AI agent to determine the best path for handling a request at runtime. Instead of manually defining every workflow branch, the AI can evaluate the user request, available tools, connected topics, workflows, prompts, and knowledge sources before deciding what action to take next. This orchestration capability makes enterprise AI systems far more adaptive and intelligent. It also reduces development complexity because makers do not need to hard code every conversation transition. The system becomes more dynamic, flexible, and scalable over time. Tools are what transform Copilot Studio agents from informational assistants into operational AI systems. A tool can be a Power Automate flow, API connection, plugin, prompt action, connector, or external integration. When a user asks the AI to perform an action, the agent can invoke a tool to complete the task. For example, an employee could ask the agent to create a support ticket, retrieve customer information, update records, schedule meetings, or trigger approval processes. This ability to combine conversation with action is what makes AI agents valuable in real business environments. Organizations are no longer limited to passive information retrieval. Agent flows play a major role in automation scenarios. Agent flows allow organizations to automate business processes visually or through natural language authoring experiences. These flows can execute independently or as part of a conversation. For example, a procurement workflow might validate a request, route approvals, notify stakeholders, and update back-end systems automatically. Because Copilot Studio integrates deeply with Power Platform and Microsoft ecosystem services, organizations can combine AI reasoning with automation logic very efficiently. This creates opportunities for significant operational efficiency improvements across departments. Variables and entities help agents understand and retain context during conversations. Variables store information collected during interactions, while entities help recognize structured information such as dates, names, product types, ticket numbers, or locations. These capabilities are essential because enterprise conversations often involve multiple steps and contextual dependencies. For example, if a user asks about a product order, the AI agent may need to identify order numbers, shipment dates, account details, and user preferences throughout the interaction. Proper context handling allows the conversation to feel more intelligent, personalized, and efficient. Another important capability is slot filling. Slot filling allows the AI to automatically extract required information from natural user language without asking repetitive follow-up questions. For example, if a customer says they need a laptop under a certain budget with specific features, the AI can capture multiple variables at once instead of requesting each item individually. This creates a smoother conversational experience and reduces user frustration. It also demonstrates how conversational AI is becoming more human-like in understanding intent and contextual details. Security and governance are critical for enterprise AI adoption, and Microsoft has invested heavily in this area. Organizations need strong controls over data access, compliance, privacy, and operational governance. Before deploying AI systems broadly, Copilot Studio includes support for authentication, environment management, sensitivity labels, audit logging, customer managed encryption keys, data loss prevention policies, and role based access controls. These governance capabilities are especially important in industries such as healthcare, finance, government, and regulated enterprise environments where data protection and compliance requirements are extremely strict. Permission-aware AI is another major advantage in the Microsoft ecosystem. When Copilot Studio connects to Microsoft Graph, SharePoint, or Microsoft 365 services, The AI can respect existing user permissions and access policies. This means users only see information they are already authorized to access. This capability reduces security risks associated with oversharing sensitive business data. It also aligns AI systems with existing enterprise identity and access management frameworks. As AI becomes more deeply integrated into daily workflows, permission-aware design becomes essential for trust and enterprise scalability. Many organizations compare Copilot Studio with Microsoft 365 Copilot Agent Builder, but the two serve different purposes. Agent Builder focuses more on lightweight personal or departmental AI experiences integrated directly into Microsoft 365 productivity environments. Copilot Studio, on the other hand, is designed for enterprise-grade AI solutions with advanced orchestration, integrations, governance, workflow automation, and multi-channel deployment. Organizations choosing between the two need to evaluate scalability requirements, governance needs, integration complexity, and operational goals. In many cases, both solutions may coexist within the same organization. Testing and evaluation are essential because AI systems can behave unpredictably if not validated carefully. Copilot Studio includes testing tools that allow makers to simulate conversations, inspect variables, track topic execution, and review generated responses. Organizations can create evaluation datasets, measure performance, identify hallucinations, and improve reliability before production deployment. AI testing is fundamentally different from traditional software testing because responses may vary dynamically. This means organizations need continuous monitoring and iterative improvement strategies instead of one-time validation approaches. Analytics and monitoring provide visibility into how AI agents are performing after deployment. Organizations can analyze conversation trends, user satisfaction, failed interactions, unresolved questions, escalation rates, workflow success rates, and overall usage patterns. These analytics help teams identify knowledge gaps, automation opportunities, and areas requiring improvement. Continuous optimization is critical because enterprise AI systems evolve over time as user behavior changes and business processes adapt. Successful AI deployments require operational discipline, governance, and ongoing refinement. Multi-channel deployment is another important strength of Copilot Studio. Organizations can publish AI agents to Microsoft Teams, websites, mobile applications, customer portals, and channels supported through Azure Bot Service. This allows businesses to provide consistent AI experiences across internal and external environments. Employees can interact with AI assistants directly inside collaboration tools, while customers can access AI-powered support through websites or applications. This unified deployment model reduces fragmentation and improves operational consistency across digital channels. One of the biggest enterprise opportunities with Copilot Studio is internal employee productivity. Organizations spend enormous amounts of time searching for information, navigating systems, completing repetitive tasks, and coordinating workflows. AI agents can reduce friction by providing conversational access to business systems, automating repetitive processes, and surfacing relevant information instantly. Employees can focus more on strategic and creative work instead of administrative overhead. Over time, this can significantly improve operational efficiency, responsiveness, and employee experience. Customer service is another major use case. AI agents can support customers 24 hours a day while handling common questions, troubleshooting requests, appointment scheduling, account management, and escalation routing. Because Copilot Studio supports knowledge grounding and workflow integration, these agents can provide more personalized and context-aware support experiences. However, organizations still need strong escalation paths for complex or sensitive interactions where human judgment remains essential. There are also important challenges organizations must address. AI systems can generate inaccurate responses if knowledge sources are incomplete or poorly maintained. Governance failures can expose sensitive information. Over-automation can frustrate users if escalation paths are missing. Organizations also need strong change management strategies because AI adoption changes workflows, responsibilities, and operational expectations. Successful deployment requires careful planning, user education, governance policies, and continuous oversight rather than simply enabling AI features. Looking forward, Microsoft is positioning Copilot Studio as part of a broader AI ecosystem involving Microsoft 365 Copilot, Azure AI Services, Power Platform, Microsoft Fabric, and enterprise data systems. The long-term vision is to enable organizations to build interconnected networks of AI agents capable of collaborating across business processes and systems. This points toward a future where AI agents become a normal operational layer inside enterprises rather than isolated productivity tools. The rise of AI agents also changes how organizations think about software itself. Instead of users navigating multiple applications manually, AI agents may increasingly become the interaction layer between people and enterprise systems. Employees could simply describe goals conversationally, while AI systems coordinate applications, workflows, data retrieval, approvals, and actions behind the scenes. This represents a major shift in enterprise user experience and digital operations. For organizations beginning their Copilot Studio journey, the best approach is to start with focused and measurable use cases. Choose scenarios with clear business value, trusted knowledge sources, manageable complexity, and strong stakeholder support. Build iteratively, monitor performance carefully, gather user feedback, and improve continuously. AI transformation is not a one-time project. It is an ongoing operational capability that evolves alongside the business. Thank you very much for watching this deep dive into Microsoft Copilot Studio. We explored how AI agents are evolving beyond traditional chatbots into intelligent operational systems capable of reasoning, automation, orchestration, and enterprise integration. Copilot Studio represents an important step toward the future of AI-driven work, where conversational interfaces become deeply connected to business processes, enterprise knowledge, and organizational productivity. As AI adoption accelerates across industries, platforms like Copilot Studio will likely play a central role in how organizations build intelligent digital experiences for employees and customers alike. Another important area in Copilot Studio is model selection and AI behavior control. Enterprise teams increasingly need the ability to choose models based on reasoning quality, speed, cost, availability, and compliance needs. Not every business scenario requires the most powerful model. A simple FAQ agent might prioritize speed and low cost, while a legal review assistant, technical troubleshooting agent, or complex workflow agent might require stronger reasoning. Copilot Studio's direction reflects a broader industry trend where AI platforms are becoming model flexible rather than locked to one model for every workload. Prompt engineering is also a major part of building high-quality agents. In Copilot Studio, prompts are not just casual instructions. They define how an agent should interpret requests, use knowledge, respond to users, and call tools. A weak prompt can make an agent vague, inconsistent, or too broad. A strong prompt gives the agent a clear role, clear boundaries, response style, escalation behavior, and rules for using data. For enterprise use, prompt design should be treated as part of solution architecture, not as an afterthought. Agent instructions are especially important because they shape how the agent behaves across conversations. Instructions can define tone, scope, security limits, preferred knowledge sources, and when the agent should ask for clarification. A good instruction set tells the agent what it should do, what it should avoid, and how it should behave when information is missing. This is important because business users often expect AI to be both helpful and controlled. The goal is not only to generate answers, but to generate reliable, policy-aligned answers. Copilot Studio also supports scenarios where agents can work with other agents. This is an important step toward multi-agent enterprise workflows. Instead of one large agent trying to do everything, organizations can create specialized agents for HR, finance, IT, sales, compliance, and operations. A parent agent can route work to a specialized child agent when needed. This modular approach improves maintainability because each agent can be designed, tested, governed, and improved for a specific business domain. Model Context Protocol, or MCP, is another important topic in the Copilot Studio ecosystem. MCP allows agents to connect with external tools, resources, and systems in a more standardized way. This matters because enterprise AI depends on access to fresh, contextual, and operational data. Without structured access to systems, agents remain limited to static knowledge. With MCP-style integration, agents can retrieve dynamic information, interact with services, and support more advanced real-time use cases. Computer user agents are also becoming an important frontier. Many enterprises still depend on legacy applications that do not have modern APIs. In those cases, traditional automation can be difficult. Computer use capabilities allow AI agents to interact with user interfaces more like a human would, using visual understanding and reasoning to complete tasks. This can be useful for older desktop tools, internal portals, or systems where API integration is not available. However, these scenarios require extra governance, monitoring, and testing because UI-based automation can be more fragile than API-based automation. Voice-enabled agents expand Copilot Studio beyond text-based interactions. Voice scenarios are especially important in customer service, call centers, field operations, healthcare administration, and service desks. A voice-enabled agent must handle interruptions, unclear speech, rep prompts, fallback paths, and escalation more carefully than a text agent. Voice agents also need strong conversation design because users cannot scan a long answer the way they can in a chat window. The best voice experiences are concise, guided, and action-oriented. Human handoff is another critical enterprise capability. Even the best AI agent should not try to handle every situation. Some requests require empathy, legal judgment, negotiation, exception handling, or human approval. Copilot Studio supports handoff patterns where a conversation can move from AI to a human representative or engagement hub. This creates a balanced model where AI handles routine work, while people focus on high value or sensitive cases. Good AI design includes knowing when not to automate. Application lifecycle management is one of the biggest differences between small chatbot projects and enterprise AI programs. In production environments, agents need development, test, and production stages. Teams need versioning, approvals, rollback plans, environment controls, and deployment governance. Copilot Studio benefits from its connection to Power Platform environments and solution management. This allows organizations to treat agents as managed enterprise applications rather than experimental prototypes. Data loss prevention policies are essential when agents can connect to multiple systems. Without proper controls, an agent could accidentally combine data from systems that should remain separated. For example, a company may want to prevent customer financial data from being sent to an external connector or mixed with public web content. DLP policies help administrators define which connectors and capabilities are allowed together. This becomes increasingly important as agents gain more tools and autonomy. Authentication strategy is another major design decision. Some agents are internal and should require Microsoft Entra ID authentication. Others may be public-facing, such as customer support agents on a website. The risk profile is very different for each scenario. Internal authenticated agents can personalize responses and respect user permissions. Public agents require stricter boundaries, careful knowledge selection, limited tool access, and strong monitoring. Authentication should be decided early in the architecture, not after the agent is already built. Cost management is also part of the Copilot Studio deep dive. AI agents consume capacity based on usage, model selection, orchestration, knowledge retrieval, and tool execution. A poorly designed agent may generate unnecessary calls, long responses, excessive searches, or repeated workflow executions. Organizations should monitor usage patterns and optimize agent design. This includes improving instructions, limiting unnecessary tools, using focused knowledge sources, and designing efficient conversation paths. Knowledge management is one of the most underestimated success factors. Many AI projects fail not because the AI platform is weak, but because the underlying content is outdated, duplicated, unclear, or poorly structured. Copilot Studio agents perform better when knowledge sources are accurate, current, well organized, and written in plain language. Enterprise teams should treat AI readiness as a content governance challenge. Better documentation leads to better AI answers. Another important best practice is designing for uncertainty. An enterprise agent should not pretend to know something when it does not have enough information. It should ask clarifying questions, cite grounded sources when available, explain limitations, and escalate when needed. This is especially important in regulated or high-impact scenarios. A trustworthy AI agent is not the one that always answers confidently. It is the one that answers appropriately based on the evidence it has. Finally, Copilot Studio should be viewed as part of a broader enterprise AI operating model. The technology is powerful, but success depends on governance, process ownership, user adoption, security, content quality, testing, analytics, and continuous improvement. The organizations that get the most value will not simply build one agent. They will build a reusable AI agent strategy that connects people, processes, data, and systems across the business. That is where Copilot Studio becomes more than a tool. It becomes a foundation for intelligent enterprise operations. Thank you for watching.